Hi everybody, just a little reminder that our exam is in 2 days. I hope that you had a great Memorial Day and that you are ready to take your exam. Now, you could take your exam early if you feel that you're ready, but today we're just going to go over a few things. So we're going to start with page 303. This is your decimal review. Remember, if you have a decimal, it's just another way to write a fraction. And with a decimal, you have your decimal point, and anything after that gets a TH, and it's a value smaller than 1. So you have your whole number, and then you have your decimal, and then you have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and it's the same as ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, except you just put a TH at the end of each one. You don't have ones, you just go straight to tenths, okay? So it's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So if you have tenths, it's only one place after the decimal. If you have hundredths, it's 2 places. And you can remember that by the amount of zeros for like your fraction. So if you had 9/10, you know that you would have 0.9, which your tens has 1 0, so that kind of is a good reminder for you. So let's look at your section 1. It says complete the place value chart. So what you're going to do is start at the decimal point, and then we can go to the left. So you see the place to the left, the 2, that would be ones, obviously. And then the 6 would be tens, 9 would be hundreds, and 5 would be 1000s. Then you go to that decimal point, and then when you go to the right, these are all values smaller than 1. So that would be tenths, TENTHS, that's the 0. 4 would be hundredths, which would be the word hundred, and then THS at the end. And then the 7 would be thousandths, THOUSANDTHS, thousandths. So you have, the number is 5,962 and 47 thousandths because you have 3 places after the decimal. Now it says write the decimals or mixed decimals. Now, this is important to know, and if you do not know this, we're going to go over this now, but this will be on your test, something like this. So 9/10 would be 0.9. I know I'm telling you the answers, but try to get them before I say them to kind of gauge if you know how to do this or not. 4 and 3/10. 4, the whole number 4.3. 1700ths would be, well, hundredths has 2 places because there's 2 zeros, so 0.17. 11 and 2 thousandths. Well, the number before and is going to be a whole number, so the number 11, and, which means decimal point, 2 thousandths. Now, thousandths is 3 places because there's 3 zeros, so it's going to be 0.002, not 0.200, 0.002. Now the E is 403 thousandths. So remember, thousandths is 3 places, so it would be 0.403. And F is 16 and 100th. So it would be 16, the whole number 16, decimal point, 100th, so that means 2 decimal places because there's 2 zeros, so it's going to be 0.01. Alright, now the next section says change to mixed decimals. 3 and 1700ths would be 3.17. B would be, it says 27 and 7 thousandths, that would be 27.007. 19 and 3/10, 19.3. And 18 and 1/10, 18.1. Section 4 says change those decimals to mixed numbers. That's important too. So this would be, A would be 6, and then the 6 and then 327 thousandths. that as a fraction. B would be 33 and then 61 over 100. C would be the number 119 and then the fraction 7/10. And D would be 9 and then the fraction 3/100. Alright, now section 5 says write the metric prefix. Put a star by this and try to memorize this. This is also going to be on your test, and by now you should know this. 0.01. Remember, for dollars and cents, you would have two places. It is centi, C-E-N-T-I. The next one is 10. Think about years in the forms of tens. This would be decades or deca. C, 0.1. Well, that's the first number that would make our decimals. So it is deci, decimal, deci. 100, that's not a decimal. That is 100, which is hecto. 1,000 is kilo, that's huge. And then 1/1000th or 0.001, that's thousandths, which is milli. Okay, and a millennium is 1,000 years. Okay, now add or subtract. You guys can do that, and then I'll just tell you the answers right now. You can pause this and do it, or you can, I'm going to attach the answers so you can look at those there. It'd be 48.155, 4 and 428 thousandths, 89 hundredths, $141.78. E, $3.36. Don't forget to put those dollar signs there. F is tricky, so F you would have to put, I would stack that and put $10, 10.00 minus 6.29, so that you're doing the exact money amounts over each other, and this would be $3.71. G is $19.17, and B is 1.5. The hardest one is definitely F or H. So for those, I would put those, write those sideways. Now 7, put a star by this. This is also very important. You need to know this. 1 square foot equals how many square inches? Now here's the key to know this. For squares, remember it's a side by a side times a side. So how many inches are normally in a foot? 12. So what's 12 times 12? 144. That's what makes it the square. Get it? Okay, so it's 144 inches. And then B, 1 square yard, you'll also need to know this. How many feet are in 1 yard? 3. Well, then you take the 3 that way and the 3 that way. 3 times 3, and what do you get? 9. So 1 square yard equals 9 square feet. All right. If you don't know section 3 and section 7, you need to have those memorized. Section 8, you guys can do those for practice. You don't have to do all of those, just you could do A and D. Section 9, Trevor's reading a large book with XXXIV chapters in it. If you don't know your Roman numerals, I would go over those, but by now most of you know them. L is 50, C is 100, M is 1000, I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, C is 100, D is 500. And so let's look at this. What is XXXIV? That is 34. Remember, if a smaller number comes in front, we subtract. He has already finished XIX chapters. How many is that? That's 29. How many more chapters? How many more? For that, we need to subtract 34 minus 29, and we get, I'm sorry, not 29, 19. We get 15, or we could say XV. Okay, now the next one. This summer, Caitlin's family plans to travel all around America. They plan to travel 5,304 miles in all. They will be gone for 24 days. If they travel the same number of miles each day, how many miles will they go each day? Well, you have 5,304 miles in all, and they're going to be doing that for 24 days. So we're dividing it up among the 24 days, which means we will divide. Okay, so do that and see what you get. The next section is divide and check. We've been doing this all year, and so I hope that you've gotten this and understood this by now. Just tell your steps over and over. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down. And now we're also using estimate, divide. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down. Make sure you do those for those. You don't need to do the greens, that's fine. Now homework, listen. We're gonna go over these. This is a good review. Look at, for section 11, all the numbers for twelfths, 21 over 28, and 32 over 34, 63 over 81. Notice each one of those, the numerators are smaller. Whenever we have a smaller number on top, all we need to do is reduce, which means we divide them both by the greatest common factor to make them smaller. And we also learned how to use how to cancel things by using our divisibility rules. Okay, so look at 4/12. This is not going to be 3, this is going to be 1/3. We divided both sides by 4. B, 21 over 28. They both have a 7 in common as a factor, so we can do 21 divided by 7 is 3, 28 divided by 7 is 4, 3/4. Okay, C, 32 over 34. Right now, I immediately see that they're even numbers, which means I can divide them each by a 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 34 divided by 2 is going to be 17. 16/17. Okay, now D. 6 plus 3 is 9 and 8 plus 1 is 9. When the sum of the digits is equal to 9 and divisible by 9, we can divide them both by 9. So 63 divided by 9 is 7, and 81 divided by 9 is 9. 7/9. So for section 11, we are just making the fraction to the smallest amount possible. Now, for section 12, notice the larger number is on top. This is an improper fraction, which means we are going to divide the top number divided by the bottom. 4 divided by 3, okay, which would be 1 and 1/3. 82/5. 82 divided by 5. 5 goes into 8 one time with 3 left over. 5 goes into 32 6 times with 2 left over. 16 and 2/5. C. Right now I can say, okay, 12 goes into 65. 5 times with 5 left over, because 12 times 5 is 60. So 5 and 5/12. You keep the same denominator. The last one, 31 over 3. 31 divided by 3. 3 goes into 30 10 times with 1 left over, and we keep the same denominator, 10 and 1/3. Alright, I know I went through those pretty fast, but I will tell you, you will see section 2 on your test, like a section 2, some things from 3 and 4, a lot from section 5 and 7, and you will see a little bit from 11 and 12. So those are all important. Really make sure that you memorize centi, deca, deci, hecto, kilo, milli, and then remember 1 square foot equals 144 square inches, and 1 square yard equals 9 square feet. We just take our normal number, 3, and multiply it by itself. 3 times 3, which is 9. And then for 1 square foot, we would take our 12 and multiply by 12, and that's how we get 144. That's all the review we're going to do for today. I'm going to be making another one for tomorrow right now. And this will, I feel like just going over this page is a pretty good review for what you have on your test. So you guys can work on some of those problems on your own, and I will see you tomorrow, or you can even watch the next video for tomorrow ahead today and then be ready to take your exam early. Alright, see ya.